discussion concerning the IP waivers. So the discussion is there. So if you ask, shouldn't we start it now, it is there. It is an important discussion. The point that I want to emphasize is, yes, we are willing to go into that discussion, but then we need a real 360-degree view on it, and we should not shy away from other topics that are in this big questions: where do vaccines come from for the whole world? And indeed, here the discussion is either IP waivers, that is, does it really bring more vaccines? So how is the knowledge transfer? How are you able to make sure that the skilled workforce is there, that the capacities are there, that the processes are going in a way that at the very end you have safe and effective vaccines? We have seen in the production process right now with the approved vaccines how difficult it is to have a stable delivery of vaccines. We see production sites that do not bring any kind of yield. So even today there are companies who are not able to really deliver on the vaccines in a very complex production process. But I think we should indeed discuss it. We should also discuss widely the question of licensing and the price of licensing. But again, this is something which will not bring within the next months, perhaps the next year, any vaccines. But we need vaccines now. And therefore, the investment in capacities as we have it today was and is good, should go on. It should be more extended to other regions of the world. This has already started. But the second point is those regions who are producing vaccines at large scale should share these vaccines through export. And again, I can only repeat, we are the only democratic region in the world that is producing vaccines at large scale and exporting on average 50% of the production. This brings vaccines right now. 200 million doses have been distributed to almost 90 countries. This is effective. And the second point is indeed sharing of doses, so not only export but also sharing of doses through COVAX is of utmost importance, and on top then the investment in capacities. By that, what I want to say is, let's lead the whole discussion. Let's invite everybody to join in vaccine sharing, everybody to join in export, fair export, everybody to join in the investment of capacities, not only in the own region, but also abroad, and the discussion on licensing and IP waivers. What the investment in capacities abroad is concerned. Indeed, this is the approach to have financing schemes. As I said, one example is Institut Pasteur in Senegal already, where the European Investment Bank is involved. But of course, from European funds, there needs also to be a public part of the investment done too. And indeed, we have started discussions with some pharmaceutical companies who also have already their ideas how they could extend their capacities in a way that is beneficial for example, our African partners. There is, for example, the model of container-based labs ready to go that is being developed, because of course there's a lot of detail if you build up a capacity, and the container-based model gives you the opportunity to come with a, let's say, ready-to-go lab in a small scale, where you train then the workforce to achieve the skills that are necessary. But the first step to build up the whole capacity is avoided, and you can start at a smaller scale immediately with the training of people, but of course also with results that are there. And indeed, if I may also have a look at the second question you were asking, the 1.8 billion is a lot. And therefore, there is already built in the contract that it includes the possibility for the member states to donate or resell doses So the amount of doses is so large in order to be able to also serve our neighborhood, for example. And this is a principle too, that we invest now in a potential risk to come. We do not know what's going to happen, whether we're going to have escape variants or not. But we have already a width of, or an amount of doses in the portfolio that is potentially more than we will need, and that we know from the experience now that this is good because you can export, but you can also donate, or for lower price you can resell.